Marvel's Avengers, Halo Infinite, and more on this week's episode of TNC Live. How do, beautiful lords and ladies of the nerdom. This is TNC Live, episode 61. Manny Roman with me as always.
Hey man, feels weird.
Hey buddy.
Feels weird today. New platform, kind of. I mean, we're streamed to Twitch, but now getting the show on here. It's nice. It's good. I'm excited. Hopefully, we can have a nice smooth show this week, since I know it's been rough lately. It's been a little rough lately.
Rona's been messing with our Wi-Fi, bro.
Yeah, man. I blame the Rona for Wi-Fi. So yeah,
For sure.
I'm super excited. Gonna be a good show today. We got two people with us this week, since I know last week just you and me. We got Adam, of course, as usual, and we got our boy Golden, Mr. Zookuzero of Vivid.
We're here.
Hell yeah.
We out here.
We're doing stuff. That's good. All right. Well, to start it off, Golden, what have you been up to? What's life been like in the gaming world?
For us, there's I've been playing a lot of League, a little bit of Rocket League, Valorant, a little bit of Hyperscape, which we're gonna talk about later, and then a little bit of some secret stuff with the New World being released for a couple days there. Can't talk too much about that, but it's been a blast just playing games and living life. What about you?
Well, just like you, I'm itching to talk, but played New World. That's all I can say. Played some Valorant this week. Right there, sitting in almost plat right now, so that's feeling good. It's been a pretty good week for Valorant. We all kind of, got our feet back into it. Played a lot of Final Fantasy 14 kind of throughout the week itself. Played so much TFT. I am now Gold 1, I think 78 LP right now. So I am just about to be plat. That feels good. And then, of course, a lot of League of Legends again as well. Almost gold in solo duo, and then almost silver in flex. I love Lilia, dude. Lilia is such a fun character. She's not very good. I haven't seen anyone play her well yet, and I'm finally understanding the character, and just getting to one-shot people with the W is absolutely nutty. So it's been a lot of fun with that. But Adam, what have you been up to the last week or two, since we didn't get to see you
Yeah, I
last
wasn't
week?
here last week, unfortunately, but honestly haven't been up to too much. Barely played Valorant, to be honest. You guys are usually off the game by the time I get on, so we usually end up just playing League or something else. But, it's alright. Hopefully I'll get back into it at some point, especially with the news that we're going to discuss later. Besides that, some League of Legends, of course, playing mid here and there, otherwise usually support. No real reason, just vibing it. Did a little bit of TFT with the boys here and there, some Final Fantasy 14. I think I'm level 18 right now, which is pretty nice. Open up Pokemon cards, go check out our video if you haven't already. Maybe I got some lit stuff, maybe I didn't, who knows? That's the whole
Probably
point of
didn't.
watching.
Maybe you got a chuckle. Maybe
a shuckle,
Maybe a shuckle.
maybe Brandon's favorite card.
Chocolate baby.
On top of that, just yesterday, got Paper Mario, the Origami King, and played a good amount of it, like probably 2 hours so far. It's super fun, super enjoyable. I loved the first Paper Mario. This one is very vibrant, very colorful, so I'm all for it right now. And other than that, got a new tattoo appointment. Got that going yesterday. It's gonna be a Rayquaza, which is a Pokemon just wrapping around my arm, so from here to here. And it's gonna be anywhere from 4 to 8 hours for that tattoo, so I got 2 sessions set up for that. So I'm very excited.
That's gonna be a lot of
Oh
fun.
yeah.
Good luck seeing through a possible 8-hour session. I've sat through a 4.5, 5.
Yeah.
And I think you had about a 4 or
I
5.
was my longest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good luck. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a friggin' great tattoo though, so I'm excited to see that. And then finally, Manny, what have you been up to, man?
Decent amount. Good a bit of Valorant. I went like full bipolar with Valorant. Like I was playing super well, and most days like I would have my first game would be really really good, and then I would revert to like Manny playing on 20 FPS Manny that was like 8 and like 20 all the time, and I don't know. It was a weird week of Valorant. I was super inconsistent. Good bit of Hyperscape. That's kind of been my go-to like play by myself game, honestly, even though it's very frustrating to play on your own because people are really dumb and don't really get the game yet, I guess. But when I play with my friend Golden, it's so much more fun and so much better because I have somebody that like knows what they're doing and can just like snipe people from downtown, you know?
It's a blast. Sniping people is definitely my favorite part of that game. Just watching their HP drop to 10%, and then Manny rolls up and goes pop pop, and they're gone.
Honestly, it's a perfect combo. I've played TFT on and off. I played it a good bit on Monday. Probably play a good bit tomorrow. Again, because Mondays are a big stream day with me not working. Again, super inconsistent. Like I'll get a couple third and fourths, and then I'll play a couple bad games, and then I'll just be sad, and then I'll never want to play TFT again. But then I'll come back to TFT, and then the cycle repeats. What else am I missing? Am I missing anything? I got to play the new Fairy Tale game that dropped on Friday. I played a couple hours of it. It's pretty cool so far. The gameplay is kind of a little. It's a little simple, It's very much like the old Final Fantasies. Like it's like kind of grid based, like turn based, and you just kind of pick your attack and you do stuff. It feels kind of simple in that sense, but there's a lot of cool parts to it. I like the story to it. It does follow the show really well, which is cool. So it is something I'm gonna play a bit more. Probably sometime this week. I don't know though. We got too many things going. Also, Umbrella Academy season 2.
That was just what
I already
yeah.
I watched the whole thing, bro. I was like, just in case somebody else is a nut like me and wanted to watch the whole thing, I wanted to be ready. So I watched the whole thing. I finished like an hour ago. It's really good. I like it a lot. I feel like I liked it more than the first season. Because by the end of it, it takes all the ideas of this show and expands on them, and it sets up for a really interesting season 3. That's all I'll say.
That's good. I'm definitely glad you're enjoying it. I'm only two episodes in so far, and I really am liking it so far. So I'm excited to finish it this week, and hopefully dive into that at some point. And I know Golden, you said you're about 5 episodes in, so
Yeah, I think I'm on 5, something like that. So it's getting spicy. The groundwork was laid out.
Yeah.
Now they're kind of going to a little more of the action. Things are happening. Kind of hyped.
That's good. Definitely glad. All right, Manny.
Did you talk about what you were up to?
Me? Yeah, I was second.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember. I'm gonna be honest.
Talking about Lilia the whole time.
Yeah,
You're right. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably why I tuned out. You talked a lot about regular league. All right. So once we wrap up what we've been up to, we always jump into the
Top 5 gaming news stories of the week. Number 1.
All right, so our first story of the week, we got our next Avengers war table, and the huge focus for this war table was the beta and all the stuff you're going to be able to do in the beta when it drops. So PS4 pre-orders are going to be able to start playing the beta in a few days. If I remember right, it's like August 4th or 5th through the 7th, I want to say. But there's going to be a lot of stuff that's playable in the beta. The first thing that they kind of explained was there's going to be 3 story missions that are going to be playable. They're not in sequence with each other. The first one is going to be that bridge, like the opening like bridge mission that they've showed off in gameplay footage and things like that. So it's probably the best mission to let you get your hands on all 5 main characters, outside of Kamala. But you get to play as all the Avengers, see how they work, see how the movement system works and all that. So I feel like that's a really good start. And then there's 2 missions that are later on in the game that you'll get to play as with Hulk and Kamala. In terms of the other parts of the beta, there's 3 other game modes that you're going to get to try out. One of them are harm rooms, which are basically like training simulation missions where you just go into these augmented reality missions and just like practice with all these different characters. You can go in by yourself or go in with AI teammates or go in with live teammates and actually like work on like synergy and things like that. There's war zones, which are just huge open missions. And then there's new things called drop zones, which are similar to war zones, but they're simplified and just much shorter. But they're said to be really good for getting better gear and things like that. Go ahead.
It's so weird to me to see a game like this go into a beta. I don't know about you guys, but like I see this game and I'm like, oh, this is going to be like a Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the story co-op game, in a sense. It's like a lot of other superhero games that have been made. None of them have been, I can't say none, but some of them haven't been that great. They've been kind of just all right games. There's, get to be the superhero. So when I heard this game was going into beta, I don't know, that's just so weird to me to have a game that's like, okay, we're going to let you play 3-4 missions. How many missions will they really be? Maybe like 30, 40? So it's like, what, you get to play 10% of the game and then, I don't know, because it's not like the game will have aspects that are replayable. It'll be more things that they add to the game. So it is kind of weird to me. However, I do like that they've announced these other opportunities in the game, like the harm challenge rooms. That's something I loved in Marvel Ultimate Alliance. There's these really difficult little missions you'd get to go into. You're kind of like in one room and the simulation would change. It's kind of like the X-Men, how they have like their not training rooms is what they call them, but I forgot what they, exactly.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but it is a fantastic element to the game. But again, it's just so weird to me that there's going to be a beta. I don't know about you guys, if you guys feel kind of the same way.
So I think I think the reason it'll work well is because this game is very much going to be a game as a service. They've really have been keying in on this game's going to continually evolve with new missions, new characters, new ways to play. Even they teased in this war table that there's 2 other game modes that they still haven't even talked about, that they're going to either talk about in the future, or you'll just have to wait and see till launch. Which one of them was called Boss Raids, which sounds sick, and then the other one was something. It was like Hive. It was involving Hive.
So maybe it's like a horde mode.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
It definitely sounds.
But
that's kind of nice. I like their possible replay value there. Then I am really intrigued in this game. You guys know I love Marvel. I again, like I've said, I've played the first 2 Marvel Ultimate Alliances. I'm someone who bought like the Iron Man game, the Hulk game, the Spider-Man games growing up. So this is really interesting to me. I just don't want the game to get ruined because of the beta. Like, I hope it's not like, oh, I got everything out of it, and now, you know what, I'm okay. So, it's exciting, though. It really is.
First off, shout out to our boy Alex for finally making a Twitch and following us. Appreciate you, buddy. Second, I think the reason it won't is because, one, you won't be able to play. You're only going to be able to play as Iron Man, Kamala, Hulk, and Black Widow. So Captain America and Thor are not playable in the harm rooms, the war zones, and the drop zones. So there is still going to be stuff for you to pick up and play and learn. And they also said not all the skill tree is going to be available to us in the betas. So it's just going to be a kind of a simplified experience.
Okay. I like that a lot. Then.
So, yeah. So one thing that was cool though that they also talked about was involving upgrading your characters as you play them and things like that. Was for people that play the game by themselves instead of playing with other people, like you're able to play with AI heroes on your team. And what's cool about those AI heroes is they're actually going to be your version of them. So say you're going into a mission playing as Kamala, your Hulk that you've been leveling up through all these, the war zones, drop zones, story, and all that, it's going to be him in there with you. So with all of his abilities, all of his, gears,
So
gear
you
that
build the team the way you want it to be, essentially.
Exactly. So I thought that was
That's
a
cool.
really, really cool, addition to it. They don't just they don't just, paste a basic AI for you to use. It's your character that's just fighting with you, which I thought was really cool.
I absolutely love that, because you could go into this and be like, you know what, I'm gonna make Hulk this, really tanky, and maybe like if there's like CC in the game, kind of like a disrupting character, and it would kind of stink. It's like, okay, now it's my turn to play like Kamala, and I still have a Hulk on my team, but he's just bashing stuff around, and he's just kind of doing damage and stuff. But now that you can still have him focused to be the aggressor, the one to kind of take a lot more like the tanky role of it, I think that's really cool. That's honestly a fantastic addition.
Which is it's like what you just said. It's so weird to think, right? With a Marvel Avengers game,
Yeah.
is that, and they even said this in the war table, is like team comps are gonna be something to like pay a lot of attention to when you're going into these different game modes, and that's something you would never think of,
In a story.
considering in a game like an Avengers game. You're just like, I'm just gonna go play my favorite hero, do all these cool things with him. It's like, no, there's so many more layers to this game than even I think everyone was anticipating. The more information that they bring out with this game, the more I get excited for it, because this game's going to be so much more than we were anticipating from the start, and that's really exciting to me.
One thing that I personally hope that they bring in there, because they did it with Spider-Man, and I thought that was really cool, because for me, with video games, I love collectibles, all that, like Assassin's Creed, get all the old banners or the whatever, etc. And for me, Spider-Man did that really well. I didn't play it, but again, watching it, I thought it was cool. Was alternate uniforms, alternate costumes.
Yeah.
And that would be cool to see in this game as well. Different versions of Iron Man's suit. Maybe Red Hulk. Just stuff along those lines.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like with those those AI characters that you bring into missions, they keep the skins that you have on them. Like they showed someone going into a mission and them having the Hulk in the suit and the fedora
That's
going into the mission
fantastic.
with them.
Yeah.
So super cool what they're doing with the game. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on the game next weekend. The last thing they talked about was the first in a long line of DLC characters for the game. And from the sound of the trailer, it sounds like there's going to be, at the end of all this, 20 playable characters.
Okay.
Because in the trailer, they have Nick Fury mention that there's 20 Avengers. It was like one of the first things he says in that trailer. So it sounds like there's going to be another 14 characters added to the game eventually. But the first DLC character to the game is going to be Hawkeye, which I'm stoked about. I'm super
The
happy.
worst one. That's why it's first.
Nah, dude. Nah. So one thing I do like is that they also are going to have, he's going to have his own storyline when he gets added to the game, that's going to be playable on his own or with, again, co-op with AI characters and all that. So a lot to look forward to.
So
With
I bet.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Oh, I was
Awkward.
just gonna say, I bet Spider-Man comes out when Miles Morales comes out for a DLC. My
Definitely.
shout.
I was gonna ask for each of you, what is like one character for a Marvel character that you're like, they need to be in this game? Like after
War
all
Machine.
20 come out. War Machine for you. I feel like that's not a
Yeah.
serious answer.
I feel like he's cooler than Iron Man, dude. Like,
Okay. Manny, who other than Hawkeye, who's the character you're like,
H.
he's got to be in there, or she?
Do I have to pick someone else? I'm kidding. Honestly, I think it would be really cool to have Falcon.
Okay.
I think it'd be really cool.
okay.
Because he'd add another character that can have a lot of cool like mobility, abilities.
It definitely would bring a different aspect to the game. I could definitely see that. Golden, who are you thinking?
I just want to play Thor so I can run around yelling, "It's hammer time!"
Respect it.
Yeah.
But I have a question for you guys regarding betas and stuff like that. So, what is your ideal beta? So there's games that do it different ways, right? There's games that, like Fortnite, they release beta, but it's basically the game, and then they fix stuff as they go, and then they decide randomly, oh, it's released. There's games that do it differently, where it's, hey, we're going to preview just a very small portion of the game, just the PvP, or just the collecting, or you're going to see like this very small amount, and then we're going to close it off until release. Like, we just need to test this. And then there's the last kind, which is like, you get to go up to level 10, or you get to do everything in the game up until a certain point. Which is your preferred kind and why?
No, go ahead.
All three.
Whoever wants to go.
I'll go ahead and take it real quick. For me, I've only seen it done a very, very few couple times. I always like, when it comes to kind of story-based games, or not just story, but even MMOs that have a story, I always love to see when they can give us something that is specifically made for the beta, where it's like, hey, this is more just to kind of test the feel of it, server kind of stuff like that, and it's not even in the game. It's just kind of a little off thing. I guess, like, if Call of Duty is gonna come out with the beta, when they come out with the beta, they gave us a completely kind of like bare bones map that a multiplayer map for us to try. It wouldn't be in the game, kind of just very basic map, but just to get the idea, the feel, bugs out and stuff like that. I don't want any of the game truly ruined for me, but I want to still understand how it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because it really depends on what type of game it's going to be for me to prefer what kind of beta it is as well.
Which is fair.
Like for Call of Duty, like they always do the simplistic, like Brandon said, here's like 2 or 3 very basic maps, nothing that's going to wow you. Here's some very like original basic guns. You can hit these level caps within this time frame, we'll increase it over time. And guess what? Your progress does not carry over. Like, that's, for me, they do it perfectly. That's how it should be for a game like that. And for MMOs, it would be better to see those kinds of games, like those betas where it's like, here's a whole different area that means nothing to the actual game. Enjoy it, but it won't be here. Nothing carries over. Just get the feel of it.
So kind of like an expanded tutorial island, basically.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is a separate part of the game that's not going to be, you're never going to see this again, but this is the feel, the mood, the actions that you're going to be going through the regular game, kind of like that.
100% agree with you.
Yeah,
that's exactly.
You don't really see that, but that's like the dream. That's where it should be, in my opinion.
Man.
I'm kind of in the same mindset as Adam. Is that the way a beta should work kind of varies based on the type of game that it is. Call of Duty, like to their point, Call of Duty, it should be a multiplayer beta. Their campaigns aren't generally that long anymore anyways, so I don't think anybody would want to see what is going to be in the story. But it works, the way they do the beta works well for both parties. People get to play the game, which is, that's what they want, and they get to test the servers, they get to, iron out the fine details of the game last minute. And other games like the way Avengers I think is doing theirs, I think is really smart. It's just a few days. It's going over 3 weeks if I remember right. It's like a weekend, or the next like 3 weekends is going to be playable. But for that game, because it's pretty open-ended, like yes, there is the main storyline, but they have so many ways to play the game that I think it's going to work well for them, because they get to see how well the game plays, especially with everything being co-op, and going from, you can be co-op, you can be solo, you can have the AI teammates. I think making sure all of that works the right way that they want it to is really key for them. But I think for them, I'm not even 100% sure if they really need a beta, because it is a game as a service. It is something they're going to be constantly working on for a few years. But I think the way they're structuring it works really well.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I don't think they need a beta, but I mean, it doesn't hurt. Like, it's gonna make the community happy, so might as well.
Cool.
All right, Manny, you ready?
I think so.
All right, sir.
Number 2.
So number 2, me and Golden's new favorite game. I'm kidding. Ubisoft announced that their battle royale experience, Hyperscape, will be going full release with its first season on August 11th on not only PC but PS4 and Xbox One as well. For those of you that are generally console players, the game is free to play, so you'll just be able to download it, play the game, have a good time with it. Also, for those of you that are on PC playing the beta does end today, which kind of tough, but you know, it's only going to be down for a week or so.
The game's interesting.
Yeah, when it does come out, I'm going to give it another shot. See if I can get into it. I really like the concept of the game. It's just a lot. It's a lot to take in. I'll give them props that it is a different feel. It is a completely different feel from any other battle royale that I've at least played, from, you know, Fortnite, Apex, H1Z1, and, you know, so on from there. It takes some time to get used to, though. It really does.
I'm just not a fan of the bullet sponging. Like, I really enjoy games where it feels like when I hit someone really hard, if I laser a guy with most of my mag, that person should be at 1 HP or dead. So when I'm hitting someone and I don't have upgraded guns, and they're like turn around after I'm reloading and I still can't kill them, and they turn around and their gun's upgraded and they wail me like 100 to 0, that's the only part of the game that I really don't like. But the movement's really good. The abilities are fun. The map is like cool because you drop from different places every time, and it's familiar landmarks and stuff. So I think it's a good game. It's not my preference with damage. Like, I even think Apex has too long
time to kill.
Yeah.
Unknown Saints, I don't think they've specified in the announcement that there will be crossplay. I would not be surprised if we see it at some point, because I feel like Ubisoft is one of those, you know, AAA publishers that generally is ahead of the curve with things like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see it at some point. I just don't think there's an official announcement for it being at launch. To Golden's point, that is one thing that was very, very hard to get past for a while, was the time to kill. It can be really frustrating, especially. But I think it's one of those games where, because with battle royales, you can't really have much of a expanded tutorial with it. It's a trial by fire pretty much. It's one of those things where you just kind of have to, you know, play until you find something that works. For me, there's a gun called the right one, which is pretty much a revolver, like the whatchamacallit, what's it called in Apex? It's gonna kill me inside.
Wingman.
Wingman, thank you.
Yeah, it's a wingman basically.
Yeah, it's pretty much a wingman. Weirdly enough, I hated the wingman in Apex, but I really like the right one in Hyperscape. It's the one gun I've just kind of figured out, and it's very good for medium to long range. And then I generally keep the AR as a secondary weapon because it feels the most consistent in up close fights outside of the shotgun, which is just kind of a little too strong right now. So it's just a matter of playing until you find what works for you, pretty much. But because once you find what works, the time to kill doesn't feel like as big of an obstacle.
Right, and another thing with that is if you decide on like what weapons you want in the beginning, like I go sniper deep, the little pistol, like auto, yeah, the D-tap. So if you know what you want in the beginning, you can get the abilities that match with your stuff. So I usually go like the sensor, where you can see people through walls for a second just to see where people are, and then like heal or something because I'm in the back sniping. So once I find that, I can upgrade my guns easier because I know what I'm already looking for, and I'm not just kind of picking up random stuff all level 1. I can upgrade it all, and I did look it up. It looks like they did confirm crossplay for all systems.
They did. Okay.
For Xbox One and PC.
Cool. There you go. Perfect. There you go.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on for you.
Number 3.
Cool. Number 3. Riot Games has unveiled the first post-launch character for Valorant. Killjoy is going to bring a new tactical approach to the game, so we're going to go over her abilities real quick. Her first one being the alarm bot. So you throw the alarm bot, and if an enemy steps in the range of the bot, it'll kind of work like the wolves in Spike Rush, where the bot will go and hunt him down, and if it explodes and hits the person, it does similar to Viper's snake bites. It causes the person to be susceptible to double damage from all sources. So
pretty lit.
yeah. She like I'll give my thoughts after we talk.
Are you able to
about
shoot them? Like, are they targetable? Or is it like, oh, you walk through this corridor, now you take double damage for 10 seconds?
I don't know. Like they have videos of all the abilities, and it doesn't look. It's not super noticeable. So I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be something you can actually shoot and take out, or if it's going to be one of those things where it's you kind of can't. I would assume yes, because I don't think there's anything that is. There's no way to counter an ability in a game yet. I mean, like Cypher's cage slows you, yeah, but it doesn't really do that much to you. So I don't know. I would have to double check that.
This could be something really, really good on pistol rounds then, because
Yeah.
if you put in a corner where they rush through, the whole team takes that double damage, and you have 2 people on site, you can kind of mow down a whole team.
Yeah, I'm really curious about the duration itself. I've just kind of watched the reveal trailer, read some stuff on it myself, so I haven't seen the exact information, but this, I don't think it'll be like game breaking, but I do agree with Golden. It could be very good for early rounds.
Well, it says that you can hold equip to recall your deployed bot.
That's for the.
That's
that is
the
for the
alarm
alarm bot.
bot.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as Cypher, you just pick up your traps, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So-
Interesting. So I would assume you could destroy it.
Yeah. That'd be my guess. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it have like similar to Cypher's traps, where if you get close enough, it'll like reveal
Detect
it, or
it kind of
yeah,
thing.
essentially.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So this next ability is there's a deployable turret that you have. Think Torbjorn from Overwatch, pretty much. It's the same thing. You throw the turret. When somebody comes in its range, it's a 180-degree cone that it can aim towards. It'll target that person. I don't know if there's confirmed what the damage will be, but if I remember correctly, it's not gonna
I
be.
think it's like supposed to be 5.
Yeah, it's not
I
gonna
think
be
it's
like
supposed to be
high
more of like a
damage.
distraction, like put it around a corner, wait till it shoots, and then peek. And it looks like you can pick it up even after it's shot. So
Yeah, you could pick it up. I believe it's supposed to be your free ability, so you never have to buy it.
Yes.
And it looks like you can place it on like heights and stuff, so like
Mhm.
boxes and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah, I know one of the examples I saw for her was like on split B site. You're able to put it up on those boxes by garage.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's a good placement.
Her third ability is Nanoswarm. So you throw a grenade that, when triggered, does AoE damage to everybody that's in it. Again, I don't know if we have a damage tick rate on that, but
That's
actually-
what I saw.
yeah, it's actually just seeing the way the ability works, it looks like it could be a pretty strong hard denial ability, like a raised grenade. And then her ultimate, Lockdown, she throws this, I guess, beacon you can call it, that charges up for roughly 12 seconds, and then it just emits this almost EMP type thing where anybody or any enemy that's trapped in it is stunned for up to 8 seconds.
Yeah. It says it can be destroyed by your enemies, but yeah, they're caught in this dome. And like they literally can't get out of it unless you destroy it. So that'll be interesting. I feel like because of her, every match you're gonna see a Cypher and a Killjoy now, and they're each gonna take one site unless you're on a 3-site map, and you're not gonna want to go to those sites now because Cypher is just going to have his traps, his cages, his camera. Okay, well, we already hate going to that site. And so imagine like the map split. Cypher will take B still, and if you throw a Killjoy on A, I mean, she's got an alarm bot. She's got nano swarm grenade that goes invisible, so it's just a trap. And then you have a turret, so like just throw it down long A, and then on ramp you just throw all your other equipment, and like that's a hard push. Now you're kind of forced to push mid unless you figure out a good counter to it, but
We're gonna have a lot. The meta's gonna change from fragging to mobility. So Jet and Omen are gonna be probably top picks as a counter. Then, that's what I think.
Mhm.
They
yeah,
definitely could be.
smokers will be huge. Like they already are, but keeping it that way. So
Yeah.
Chet Omen.
The funny thing is, I've seen a lot of people talk about the ability to lock down her ultimate, and they don't really care for it. I really could see it as a great delay tactic. You know, we put it down, like, you know they're coming, you put it down, cages them in, and then you're like, all right, team, hurry up and get here. You guys have time. They're locked in. Or it could be even used on offense, I think, really well. Let's say you're on Haven, and you guys are pushing A site, and you guys are like, all right, let's rotate. You throw that down like around B, the rest of the team goes C, trap some of them inside of that, and then maybe force it to be like a 5v2, or even just make it from the, I think like the bomb's like 30 seconds. They might not even be able to get there for, 8 seconds because of your ultimate now. I mean, that really could be very interesting. I'm very excited to see the kind of plays we'll see from her ultimate lockdown.
I'm also curious if she can go in and out of it, because it says that it detains enemies inside.
Yeah.
So can she leave?
I would think
Yeah,
so.
well,
I think her and team
anybody that is in there can until it goes off, the EMP part goes off, and it's like again, if you look at the ability video that they have on their website, it's like a 12-second charge. It's it's definitely something that you have to put early and anticipate.
I calculated.
It's not something you can just throw down and it'll work, because it is something that can be destroyed. I think the one thing that with Killjoy is that, to me, she might overtake Cypher as the #1 pick for comp, because her kit feels like it can not only lock down a site, but it can lock down once you plant the bomb, which I feel like Cypher's kit doesn't feel as good for. Whereas her, especially with her ultimate, she locks down a bomb site for 20 seconds with her ult. If a team hasn't gotten to that bomb site and you just throw down her ult, that's 20 seconds with the charge up and the stun time that they aren't able to get to the bomb. That's almost half the bomb timer in itself. Not only that, the nano swarms doing a lot of damage over time. The turret being able to just pop it on the bomb and it'll just delay them even further. So it feels like her kit's going to be really, really strong on both sides, because she's going to be able to hard deny diffuses too.
Yeah. Which is fair. I mean, you put the alarm bot on the bomb, you could put the turret on the bomb. There's a lot of things you do. Yeah. So no, I agree. I'm very excited to see what it's going to do to shake up the meta. So it's going to be really interesting for sure.
I think her ult and the shooting bot are kind of like meh. Like, the ult has a really long charge time. It can be used in very specific situations, but her grenade trap looks like it almost one-shots people without armor. And the alarm bot, which does the decaying, is super good on save rounds and pistol rounds. So 4 out of the rounds per half, you can take away all of their armor or weaken them so much that you with a classic is the same as them with a phantom, basically. So if you have 2 people with classics and you just hold a corridor together, this is gonna be crazy with the amount of stuff that she can do. I think it's gonna be.
She's gonna be a really strong pick.
It'll also matter how many of anything you can carry. I'm sure the turret's a 1.
Yeah.
But can she carry 2 grenades, 2 alarm bots, or just 1 of each, or 2 of one of another?
I'm sure
we'll
one of them will be 2, and I think it'd probably be the alarm bot. I like that one, but I definitely think that one might be the least useful in an aspect of what it can do without added things with it, you know, because like Golden said, you do need to have people to be able to shoot them and stuff with that. But I mean, if you put 2 of those, I mean, if you're just thinking Haven itself, to make it easiest to keep talking about that map, you can put 1 garage, 1 C long, and then you're pretty much cutting that side off. And then, you know, you Sage Wall mid, Cypher on, you know, down on A. I mean, there's a lot of new things you can do on locking down points. I do think defense, you're going to see a bigger push on winning sides on defense again, because I feel like the last month it's been getting a little more offensive heavy. Like, at least for us, I feel like we've been winning a lot more offense. We'll go like 8-4 on offense, and then on defense we're just getting trampled. So yeah, no, I'm extremely excited to see what this will do for the game, though.
Here in 2 days, right?
I believe so, because the new season
I think it's in 2 days.
Yeah, she should be coming with the new season, which is a couple days. Shout out to our boy Schneeds, our number 1 fan, our mod. Much love, dude. Yeah, I think she's gonna be really interesting, because you might, to Golden's point, I feel like you will see a meta shift. I feel like, you know, with having her, again, a lot of teams probably will start going Cypher and Killjoy. So you might see people go with 2 duelists and an Omen, you know, to help with your push potential, because having both of those characters really limits your push potential. So you might start seeing, you know, Phoenix getting a little more play in competitive and things like that, because they can, you know, pick up where those 2 lack.
I'm really excited too. I hope they said they're going to release a lot more characters, right? So I'm hoping
every 2 months.
I hope that it comes to the point of like League, where there is a pick ban for competitive. I really, really think that'd be so much more fun, so much more mental game.
I agree.
If you and your team all hate Cypher, like Cypher's the worst, we can just eliminate that and have fun playing the game. We can strategize without him. That would be super cool.
Yeah, I'd like that a lot.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that the game will get to at some point, because they've said they're, you know, it's gonna get the League treatment where they're gonna have a roster of like 100 characters eventually. So I'm sure it'll have to get to that point eventually, but we'll see. I one thing that's interesting to me is seeing someone like Killjoy now. I would love to see a character that is almost like Ezreal in TFT, where they have like almost like an EMP ability that disables, you know,
equipment,
like floor-based like equipment for like X amount of time, to help negate how strong 2 of these characters are at locking down a site right now, especially with only one of these maps having more than 2 sites. You know, it just feels like defense is going to be even harder, or sorry, attacking is going to be even harder with these 2.
Right.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that would be a smart character to see soon, would be like an EMP character. It would really bring again, another shift into the meta of kind of getting people away from the defensive characters. And I would love to kind of see that bounce back and forth. It's like, all right, you know, for this month, 2 months, or, you know, this season of it, it's going to be very defensive heavy. And now it's very attack heavy. Now it's a mix. I think that would be really cool to kind of see.
I'd like to actually see a EMP, like you said, but I would want it to be an ult on a 5 or even 4 thing cooldown, because if you can buy an EMP grenade for $400, like the most expensive, every round, you can just take whatever site you want. So I think having it as an ult would be important, where you can't just continuously destroy defensive teams, because it takes away that part of the game for Cypher and Killjoy and, you know, anything like that. I feel like you can't just take that out, so it would have to be an ult rather than a ability.
And I think that's, you know, depending on how they do it, you know, is it going to be just a big radius where it hits like the whole point, or, you know, I was, you know, a small little grenade that if you threw it, let's say, split garage side, you throw it into that little garage, like cubby, narrow hallway. Okay, you know, you might get a Cypher trap, or you might get like the Cypher cage as well. Like, so I don't think it should be too crazy, unless, yes, they did it for the ultimate, whereas maybe like a 5-point ultimate where, yeah, it could, you know, wherever you're standing, it EMPs out and like hits, you know, multiple items. I think that'd be very interesting then.
Or you could even do something like, if you guys, I know Golden's play a lot of Siege, IQ. have
Yeah.
someone with their E ability that has like a 40 second cooldown where they can just like basically ping equipment. So, you're going to a site and you can like ping like, okay, there's 2 Cypher traps here and, a Viper bubble and like all this stuff here. Let's just, let's try to make a play somewhere else. Something
Or
like that
like,
would be really interesting too.
Yeah.
Twitch, I think it is, where you get that drone, you can destroy equipment, you control the drone and shoot it, kind of thing.
So, right, if you're listening, there you go. There's your next 2 characters.
For you.
We'll help you out.
All right, we're gonna go and move on to
Number 4.
Number 4. So, I actually just found this story a little bit earlier today on Games Radar, which honestly Games Radar is kind of becoming like my go-to place for news stories because they have really good stuff on there. But it sounds like there's still some big announcements coming from both Sony and Microsoft regarding software for their upcoming console releases. Imran Khan of Kinda Funny explained on Thursday that both companies have big announcements in terms of both exclusives and third-party support for the systems, and that we may see these announcements come as early as this month. So Brandon, there's still hope for your Resistance.
I know I'm trying to like take that in. I'm like, do I get excited? Do I? And like I've said, if they came out with a Resistance, I would buy PS5. I think that's the only way I'm getting one, at least this year. So it would be really cool. I'm gonna definitely kind of keep my hopes up a little bit and see what comes out with the announcements. That would be honestly insane though if Resistance came back. That is the Sony, PS exclusive or just new shooter that consoles need. So
I think in general, like I would love to see, Sony surprise people by being like, hey, here's this really cool, multiplayer, FPS like, we game that something that we don't normally make outside of Killzone, which even then Killzone wasn't really supported as an esport. It just had multiplayer to it. But for them to do something like that would be really cool because it's something that I feel like a lot of people wouldn't expect, especially with them saying like their focus is on experiences and all these really cool single player games. That I feel like it'd be a cool surprise. Microsoft, I would not be surprised if we see something about Gear 6 if that's the case. That's like their last kind of big piece of ammunition, unless they blow us away with another like a cool original IP. I feel like that's something that we might see. Another thing to note, he also Imran Khan also mentioned that they're getting a lot of pressure from internally and externally about coming out and talking about pre-orders and talking about pricing with the system, because that's something a lot of people are waiting for information on. So that's why that we might see these announcements come this month or next month. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad there's still stuff we don't know about, and that we'll hopefully get some really cool surprises in the next month or two.
We'll definitely hope and see. I am still a little surprised we haven't got anything with the pre-orders, but hopefully we get a little announcement very soon. It would be nice. But we'll go ahead and move on.
Number 5.
Our final story for the week. So, leaks came out from a retailer's website saying that Halo Infinite's multiplayer was going to be free to play, which the entire internet blew up when this kind of came out. And then hours later, instead of just letting that sit there and kind of make people antsy and want to know what's going on, they took the crash route and they were like, all right, well, here you go. Hours later, on Halo's official Twitter account, they confirmed that the leak of Halo's Infinite multiplayer going free to play is true. So it will be free to play, and it's going to be playable in 120 FPS.
This is amazing. This is... Because, like, the story I've always liked until the past like 2. But I mean, like now it's like, okay, well, don't even have to buy the game to really enjoy it. Besides DLC map packs whenever that comes out, if I really end up loving the multiplayer, but this is massive. Massive.
This honestly was really shocking to me. I am extremely excited for Halo Infinite, and now just knowing as soon as it comes out, I will get to play without even having to make any sort of financial decision on buying it. I will buy it because I want to play the campaign as well, but I am extremely excited. I think it's really interesting too to kind of come out and say they'll be doing 120 FPS for it, which
A little overkill.
I mean, maybe this is kind of some sort of a hint, like, all right, we are wanting to make this game look better than what everyone's saying it looks right now, so maybe that'll kind of help them push in other directions. We'll definitely have to see, but I'm very excited, and I really want to see some sort of very heavy multiplayer gameplay, or get to see some pro level gameplay of it, have like a little mini tournament before the game actually does launch though.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Twitch Rivals for Halo.
Can we get a beta?
Maybe. We might, especially with the big free-to-play. You could even do something like Halo's free-to-play multiplayer drops 2 days before launch or something, or a day before launch, They could do something like that. I will say another thing that has come out since, the Xbox Game Showcase is that Microsoft and 343 even came out and said, like, Halo, everybody that's upset about the way Halo looks, fair. The game can definitely look a lot better, and that's kind of their focus right now with 2-3 months, I think 3 months roughly before launch, since it's apparently going to be coming day one with the Xbox Series X. That's kind of their main focus over the last 3 months, is that the visuals are going to continually get better as they creep up to launch, which is good. We'll see how much better they get up until launch. But the news of the multiplayer being free to play is awesome. I really like this kind of stance, and I like what Microsoft has been doing over the past 2 years, 3 years, of really honing in on making the social aspects of their system be a big focal point for them, and partnering with Discord and things like that, and then kind of catering to what gamers enjoy, which is having these really fun multiplayer experiences free to play, and then them supporting you by doing things like skin packs,
battle pass,
all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
exactly. So I think it's a really good way to go about it, and I think it's already really well received. So I think it was a really smart move for them.
All right.
Ultimate question though, boys. We playing Halo at launch now?
Oh yeah.
100%. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm very excited.
Pumped.
Cool. On Mac, right?
Yeah. Where else would we play? That hurt.
Bro, you telling me you don't have your MacBook Pro ready for Halo?
Oh. No.
I'm gonna jailbreak my iPhone and just play it on my phone.
Yeah. I mean, you'll be able to with Project X Cloud.
Hate everything about
So
that.
goofy.
Hate everything about this.
I'm just saying, that's going to be a thing. You can play Halo on your phone.
Can we not though?
Yes. That's the beauty of Project X Cloud. You can play however you want.
Totally fair.
It's goofy.
All right. I think we're ready for it, Manny.
Yeah. So, I think that's everything we have for you guys for our top 5 gaming news stories of the week. Normally, we would send it over to Brandon to talk some movies, but he decided to not give us movie news.
Well, I was gonna say I'll go ahead and give the announcement now. We will be moving all of our movie discussion over to our new show. We'll be starting very soon. TNC Movie Nights. It is myself and our buddy Alex. I was talking to him the other day, it blows me away, but I've known him for now 10 years now, and went through a lot of video game talk into sports, and now it's movies for us. So He's like really big into movies. He's kind of talking cinematography and lighting and the direction of the story. He's very in depth with it, and I'm like I'm in the other side where I'm very like, this movie's good, popcorn in my face. So we'll kind of have the different dynamic between the two of us there. So I'm definitely excited to see how that'll go, and you guys can probably looks like expect 2 shows a week is what we're talking about right now. They're not gonna be as long as these shows, hour and a half. Probably some shows will be like 15-20 minutes for like a little quick movie review, and then we'll kind of have those 30-minute kind of just talking movies. It's not gonna be very structured. It'll be kind of a little bit more of a free flow kind of show. So yeah, that's our little announcement for us for our TNC movie nights.
I'm most excited to see Alex try to get you out of your comfort zone and watch something other than a Marvel or Star Wars movie.
Which is fair. He did. I already did go ahead and watch a different movie. I watched Knives Out. And that movie was amazing. I watched it twice in the last 3 days.
I've heard great things about that. I still haven't gotten a chance to watch it, but I've heard it's really good. And I think we talked about it on the show, they're already working on a sequel.
After seeing it, I wonder how they're going to do a sequel. It would have to be like a completely different, story to it. But they can probably, I'm trying to put it best. Kind of like Cloverfield. They have a universe kind of thing, but it's not like direct correlation to the previous. So it'd be interesting to see what they could do with it. But I'm really excited to talk about it. Our first episode, we will be talking our top 5 favorite movies. And I got to say, it was tough. It was really tough making my list.
Iron Man 3, Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War,
and Lord of the Rings.
Spider-Man. Lord of the Rings.
I will say one of those movies that were just mentioned is in my top 5. But it was weird because I started with my top 5 and I had 4 of them ready. I had a 5th one ready to throw in there. And then all 4 of those came out. So I'm really excited to talk about it. You guys will have to listen when we post those shows. We're planning to do like a duo or a triple upload for our first upload to kind of give you guys a little more to listen to all at once. So yeah, we're super excited about that. I guess I'll send it back over to Manny for the listener topic.
Listener topic, yay! So, our listener topic for this week, we just wanted to know, who is your favorite Twitch streamer to watch? So,
well, I was curious who your favorite mixer. Oof.
Favorite what?
Can we get some action chat, boys?
Shots have been fired.
Also, I just wanted to address this. Our boy Mike Pop, use the touchpad on the MacBook Pro for 5% more XP when you play Halo Infinite. Confirmed.
Yeah.
Love it.
Big fan. So Adam.
Hello.
Why don't you go ahead and go first, buddy?
Yeah, no, this was actually really easy for me. Yassuo / Mo is his actual name, but I love watching him play League of Legends, especially right now because he's doing it was unranked to Challenger for jungle only, which he's only been a mid laner, hence the name Yassuo. Like he has a nice selection of mid laners, not just him, but he's been playing jungle. He's D1 right now, and he hit D1 in less than 200 games, and this is never playing jungle. Clearly he's a pro player. He's on 100 Thieves, but it's cool. Yeah, I love watching him. Super funny guy. He's a total butthole, and that's what makes him great.
That is fair.
Is that what makes most Twitch streamers great?
Honestly, I love people who are just butts.
Well, I'll go ahead and jump into mine then. Night Blue.
Worst.
I knew Golden was gonna hate that.
Cringe.
I love watching Night Blue, but it's because of his just attitude, and it's such a crappy attitude at times. And that's what I love that he goes in these games like, oh yeah, I'm the best jungler NA, no doubt about it. And it's like,
Yep.
he has games that are as good as me at times, and it's like,
Okay, Nightblue and I have the exact same playstyle mentality. It's like, I'm the best. Things go well. See, I told you. Things go bad. It's not my fault.
Oh yeah,
Someone else.
exactly.
It's
And
chat. It's chat.
yeah, he'll blame chat before he'll take the fault in the game, and he purposely.
You guys said
towered
go
up 7
Morellos.
times.
Why? They don't even have like any healing.
I'm not even AP. It's like
Yeah, like,
I'm going Morellos on my Kha'Zix.
yeah,
like,
and
so
that's what I love about him.
stupid.
I'll give him that, and I know it also just relates to his YouTube as well. But whoever does his editing is fantastic. They really do a great job on just memeing on Nightblue the whole time in the videos, and he's just fun to watch. And it's been fun watching him struggle this season, just because some of the better players do struggle at times. So yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely say Nightblue for mine. Who wants to go next?
Golden, you got one?
Yeah, I got one. Mine's a little different.
I
though.
love that
Mine's
Golden
like-
looked up and
yeah, he
physically
was like,
looked-
"What?"
Because I saw that, and I'm like,
Which
oh,
is
that
name,
makes
man?
sense. Like
Dude.
Manny's above him, and like, wait.
Yeah. So for me, it's actually K-Mind. If you don't know who K-Mind is, he is a professional PUBG player. So when I started playing pro PUBG and like getting into that scene, he was someone that I watched and really admired, and he actually like gave us tips and we talked and like I got to know him a little bit. He produces music, he plays casual games, but his streams are always like the opposite of what you guys just described with like the crazy like Twitch personalities. It's very laid back. Like, hey,
That's
welcome.
cool.
Like, hey, how's it going? It's like a very welcoming and chill place. So if I'm in between doing something and I need like a couple minutes, I'll jump into that stream and it'll make me feel very like easy transition in whatever I'm doing next.
That's good.
Yeah, totally
I
fair.
dig it.
Yeah,
I dig it.
I've honestly never watched any PUBG stuff, and it's one of those games because Manny's starting to play. I've been kind of tempted to go, play a little bit. So maybe I'll go and check out K-Mine and see if I can learn how to play the game at all before I actually play.
Mike Poppy, thanks for the follow, my dude. Also, Alex, anytime for the plug, my dude. We're happy. I'm so excited that you're gonna be like making content with us. Because honestly, I feel like out of all the people we talk to and hang out with and game with, I feel like Alex was probably like, to me, the least likely to jump on board with all of our like everything we do. So honestly, I'm super stoked. So for me, I even to this like second, I'm having a hard time picking between two streamers. But I think I'm gonna go with this person because they were actually the first Twitch stream I ever watched, and they got me, really into everything around Twitch, the community, and streaming myself and things like that. And that's Lirik. So,
Okay.
Lirik's, he's a variety streamer for the most part. He'll play new releases at launch and things like that, and he's weirdly pretty darn good at most games. Like, I remember watching on launch, I watched him play Hyperscape, and he was doing really well. He had a game where he's 8 kills and like 3 assists. I'm like, okay, bro, game's been out for 2 hours and you're just a pro at it. Okay. But he's got so much personality. He's so goofy, and when he plays, games like Arma 3 Life or like GTA Online and things like that, and he always is really good at creating really funny moments, because that's just his personality kind of caters to that. So I got to go with Lirik just because he kind of helped introduce me to everything involving Twitch, and he's hilarious, honestly.
Hi, man. That's good. Well, if all of us are done with ours, we do have a couple more that we'd like to go ahead and should read off on the show. Our friend Olivia, her favorite,
We have to talk about Olivia's.
her favorite
We hear
streamer
about it every day.
is Sonii, Sonii. We have Red Mountain Games reached out on our comment as well, and it is at JH0919 and A Rogue Gaming are his 2 favorite streamers. So definitely go ahead and everyone brought up, definitely go ahead, check them out, see if they're the content you enjoy. As we said, we got some little crazy people in here. We got some little more laid back variety streamers as well. So I would definitely, if you can, go give everyone a view, see if you like it, maybe give them a follow. So
Yeah, and we got our boy Mike Poppy chiming in live. Love it. So he says I have to go with Manny's way of thinking, and the first streamer I watched was the Gamer's Joint. Super goofy, funny guy that plays Kingdom Hearts stuff, and it's always a good time. Makes me feel a lot better at sometimes. Feels, my dude, feels.
Love it. So, for the listener topic, for episode 62, we're going to kind of follow the same idea of what we're having here, but who is the first YouTuber you ever heavily followed, whoever that would possibly be? Give us maybe a little reason, the videos you really liked, maybe why you don't follow them as much anymore, if you don't. So, yeah, definitely go ahead and just let us know your favorite YouTuber, the one you ever first heavily followed. I think that's going to wrap up on our listener topic. Now, I know we do have another big announcement for the show today.
We do. Hey, Golden, how you doing, buddy?
Golden.
No, we got a really cool partnership going on here. So, as most of you guys know, I do run Vivid Esports. It's an esports organization and community where we play a bunch of games and we have some competitive teams. We're actually going to be hosting our first Valorant tournament. It's going to be an open, free entry, $200 prize pool. It's going to be on August 15th, so in 11 days, I believe. And we have Manny here is going to be possibly being our caster / observer, spectator, running the show. So a little bit of TNC times Vivid action. I'm excited that it's actually starting to happen. The little bit of working together, cross promotion, all that, those happy good things. But yeah, it'll be a bunch of fun. If you play Valorant, get a team together, sign up. If not, make sure to join the stream and watch Manny give some great comments on the gameplay that you're seeing.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes, man. I feel like I'm gonna be my reactions are gonna be super unprofessional. I'm just gonna be like the fan, like, holy like, what just happened?
No, see, I think it's gonna be good because like whenever we are playing Valorant, Manny's always the one who has like the great plan, the great idea, the one who's like, let's do this, try that, stuff like that. So I feel like he's already just gonna kill it.
Calculated.
I'm really
I got
excited.
the wheels churning all times, boys.
Sadly, I won't be able to be a part of it myself. I'll be my tattoo appointment, but I will have my headphones in to listen to it, and I'll see if I can get like my tattoo artist, super cool guy. He likes some video games and stuff like that. I'm gonna see if he can just get, because he's got a TV in his old booth. See if we can go ahead and get the stream up on the TV. It would be kind of cool. But no, I'm super excited, Manny. I'll be honest, man. I'll be really upset with you if at one moment during the live, if I don't hear, this is Valorant! Like, if I don't get that in the stream, I'll be heartbroken. I will be, I'm excited to watch back if I don't get to catch the whole thing.
Spoiler alert. I will definitely be asking people to sign my mouse pad post game. 100%.
It's gonna be a good
That's
time.
gonna be the post game interview. I'm gonna like I'm gonna talk to like 2 people about the game and I'll be like, hey, can you guys sign my mouse pad while you're here? Like right there,
I'm super excited, but definitely, Golden, if you have any more shameless plugs you'd like to go ahead and give out, I know.
No, that's it. We tweeted it out. We tagged Nerd Chambers. You can find it probably through their Twitter. And yeah, if you have any more questions, you can always join up and ask. I'm in the TNC Discord. Just message TNC any way you can. We'll help you find the way.
All right, definitely go ahead and give the team a follow. If you want to go ahead and go follow Vivid, that is We Are Vivid. That is R with just the single R. We Are Vivid. And then of course, if you want to see what Zoo is up to, go check out at Zookuzero. Zookuzero. Definitely go ahead and give him a follow. Show him some love. Get excited for this Valorant tournament coming up on August 15th. What time is that? It was 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Central?
We're gonna be having everyone join in at 12 just to get everything prepared. So just try and get there around noonish.
All right. Well, I think that's
everything we have for you guys. Yeah, I think that's everything we have for you guys this week. Thank you for everybody for tuning in to TNC Live 61 this week, our Twitch debut for the show. Very fun, very excited. With streaming, having a consistent schedule to stream on Twitch, I think it's going to be fun having the show on here as well. With all the integrations they have with the video editing and being able to post videos to other platforms and things like that, pretty much all from Twitch. It just made a little more sense for us to have the show on here. It seems like everything went pretty smoothly. Everything was stable this week. We didn't have any, video cutting out or anything. So we're really happy to have the show on Twitch now. And we're really glad everybody came and hung out. We really appreciate you guys stopping by. Adam, how you doing?
Doing great.
So, if they want to keep up with us on our other platforms, where do they go?
Go to Instagram, go to Twitter, go to Facebook. You got us on Twitch. You got us on all the good stuff. All right, we got Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We got your Anchor. We had social links. They're I don't
Dead
know.
to
I'm
Adam
gonna
now.
look into it eventually. I'm so disappointed, man. They were.
I thought you were gonna fix that for me, buddy. I thought that was your homework.
I eventually I will. Maybe I don't know. I hate them now. But anyways, you heard it here, folks. We're back on Twitch, and it's all right. Facebook, you did us good for a while. On top of that, we got the Vivid Esports. Go tune in. We're here. He's there. That's that.
Dab on the haters.
Short round of applause for that one. I loved it.
That was something. That was something. All
Can't
right.
get any better.
So one little thing I should throw in there as well, if you missed part of the show and you want to catch up with it, outside of Spotify and all those podcasting platforms, we do have our highlighted segments going onto YouTube now. So be sure to check us out on YouTube. Just search the Nerd James. You'll find us pretty easily, and you'll find more stuff from us there in the near future.
Don't forget to check out our Spreadshirt. We have a link on our Facebook. Discount is gone. We had it for a little while, the 15%. Hopefully we get a new one coming up soon. We'll of course let you guys know if we do. I have something in the mail already. I can't wait. That way I can start wearing something on stream. Because the other item I have is a hoodie. It's too warm for that.
Warm for that. He ain't got the AC rolling in that office too well.
I do not.
Gotta keep the pits fresh, bro.
And if you're watching live on Twitch, if you just scroll down and under the video, there's a bunch of links there for everything too. Easy click.
Facts.
Easy clap. All right. Well, once again, thank you for everybody that stopped by this week. Again, if you missed part of the show, we should have it up probably tomorrow. I'm guessing we'll have it ready, Brandon.
Yeah, usually tomorrow. It might be a couple hours from right now.
There you go. All right, Adam, take us home.
Optimus, take us home. Oh wait, we don't have that anymore. Golden, take us home.
Brandon, take us home.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Nerd Chambers. Come back next week for more news you need to know.